Here's a huge school right in front of us, buddy. Oh my God, look at all these fish. Whew. Really important whenever you're bone fishing, you just gotta lay it on the bottom. It's really important, it's gotta lay on the bottom.
Today's Sportsman's Adventures takes us to the remote out islands of the Bahamas, where Captain Rick Murphy will fish a tiny group of cays in the Berry Island chain. We'll glide over the clear, shallow flats, searching for the schools of bonefish that come in waves with the rising of the tide. We call this adventure Bone Fishing 101 because Rick will attempt to catch these wary fish on spin tackle, using bait and jigs, as well as by fly fishing. Bonefish may be the ultimate in shallow water, saltwater fishing. You must first see the fish before you can cast to it, sometimes from as much as 100 feet away. You take aim and cast with precision. With this spooky fish, there is no room for error. Rick will try to catch the first fish using shrimp for bait.
Here's the muds, fresh muds right here. I just gotta find them. When you're poling up to these muds, one of the things that you gotta do is you gotta focus on which way the current is. Remind yourself constantly which way the current's going. In this particular case, the current's coming this way, so most likely the fish are gonna be up on the front side of that leading edge of the mud. So when you study the mud, look and see what the edge is, and the up current side is where you wanna start really looking for them. That's probably where they're gonna be. Oh, here's a huge school right in front of us, mudding. Oh my God, look at all these fish. Whew. Really important whenever you're bone fishing, just gotta lay it on the bottom. It's really important, it's gotta lay on the bottom. If you make a good cast, usually this is the reward. Now, hopefully this is not some bar jack. Nope, I don't think that's a bar jack. You know, it's so funny, I've been doing this for over 20 years, going on 25, and I still, my heart's thumping, beating. Get down and get this push pole out of the way. You gotta stay tight. There's thousands of bonefish. Look at this school of bonefish coming right here. Holy cow. We stick this right here. Maybe we can get another one on. Just stick that in the rod holder. Get a jig out. Look at these bonefish coming. Look at all this bonefish coming. Holy schmoly. I think I got the thing over my line. You're jig fishing, you got them bumping along the bottom real slow. Little bump, little bump, little bump. Look at these bonefish. Oh God, what a school of bonefish. Where'd they go? Trying to get the double header. Rodney the rod holder's got him one. Oh. When you get in these big house muds, whether you're in Key Largo or whether you're over in the Bahamas, it's just, it's the wildest thing. I mean, it's like fishing jacks. It is so cool. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, being I don't have a power pole on this boat, I'm gonna go ahead and take my engine and just stick it. Let me hit that front switch up there. Go up here and hit this front switch. Put it down, and then it'll become my anchor. I think. Here he is, Mr. Bone Dog. It's kind of cool because there's a wintertime thing, and we call them bullets. And whenever we fish for them in these tournaments, you have to be 18 inches, and that's the guy you want right there, because he's the same points as one that's under 8 pounds. So that's kind of a cool deal. There it is, a little shrimp hook, a little 2-0 VMC hook with a split shot, just like we rigged it. Look how he's looking at me. That little dorsal sticking up, the bars, that's typical of a smaller bonefish. They get those bars. All right, now let it go. And when you get the bite, you just want to reel.
Today, we're going fishing with George and Phyllis Bass, internationally known angling team. Phyllis, light tackle expert, has more than her share of world records. The aerial spotter, going aloft to sight tuna schools and take pictures. And there it is, the first school, a big one, too. Offer a fresh bait, mate, let it skitter back to those anxious fellows in the lead. We see the strike. Wham! Hit him, Phyllis. There, she's locked with him strength to strength. Phyllis holds a world's tuna record on light tackle. Half an hour has passed since the strike. The mate brings it alongside. We tagged this one for the University of Miami to help them collect information on tuna migrations. 6 giant tuna in one day. Boy, what a day.
Sportsman's Adventures is brought to you by Florida, the fishing capital of the world. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Rapala, Williamson Lures, Maverick Boats, Minn Kota, Humminbird, La Jolla Resort, Power Pole, Swift, Silent, Secure.
So, which one you thinking about?
I can't decide between sumo and gladiator.
Well, sumo has incredible balance thanks to his low center of gravity. Although, you can't go wrong with gladiator. No one is braver or stronger than he is.
I think you should choose gladiator.
I'll take sumo.
Rapala, Extreme Action X-Rap. Extreme Netmen sold separately.
Why is Yamaha your best investment? Just ask charter boat captain and tournament angler George Mitchell.
No matter where I fish, I know I've got the strongest, most reliable outboard there is.
For 25 years, Yamaha's innovative technology has produced the best outboards on the water. Tournament after tournament, win after win. The Yamaha F350. Power, reliability, and fuel efficiency. Yamaha, because your best investment starts right here.
Fish are gonna need a new place to hide. Exclusive side imaging from Humminbird. Scan more water faster with 480 feet of side-to-side coverage and see structure detail with amazing picture-like images. Humminbird, simply, clearly, better.
The new Riptide SF from Minn Kota. Its ruthless new mount features an anodized aluminum mono arm with uncompromising strength, a counter-tension stabilizer with no play and no give for whisper-quiet operation, and lift assist for effortless stow and deploy. But it doesn't just sound tough. It's battle-tested to help you tear through everything from heavy chop to corrosive saltwater. Riptide SF. The assault on salt has begun.
I'm Captain Rick Murphy, and when I'm in the Florida Keys, I stay at the La Jolla Resort in Isla Mirada, a place for families and fishermen. The La Jolla is located on the bay at mile marker 82.2 and has easy access to the Everglades. The flats of Isla Mirada and the offshore reefs are just minutes away. The La Jolla Resort has great dockage, boat ramps, barbecue pits, and swimming pools. So whether your group is small or large, the La Jolla can take care of all your needs. Hey, welcome back to Sportsman's Adventures, and you just saw how we can catch them on bait. Now I want to show you a little bit about how we would fish a small bucktail jig for one. Now this episode of Bonefish 101 from Chub Key in the Bahamas is one of my favorite ways to fish with my kids. We don't need to worry about having bait. Those guys love throwing these little 16th-ounce jig heads with white bucktails, and the reason why we like white is because white usually blends into the bottom and is a pretty neutral color. Sometimes we use pink, but a lot of times this white just seems to be, from flat to flat, will be the right color. Now my good buddy Al Pfluger Jr. taught me years ago that sometimes if you don't fish or you want to fish artificial because of simply covering ground, you can also tip this jig with a little piece of shrimp. Now simply hook the shrimp through both sides of the shell so that it'll stay on there, and the jacks and the pinfish can't actually pull it off. So that's a couple general ideas on how to fish for them here whenever you're throwing a bucktail jig. Let's see if it'll work. All right, let me get up here close enough I can cast. Now remember, even if you're fishing with a shrimp or with a jig, you still gotta be able to throw. Throw it slightly past where they're mudding, and you got to work the jig real slow. This is not red fishing. It's not trout fishing. It's not snook fishing. You got to work it slow. A bonefish is a bottom feeder, so he wants to bite it and pin that jig to the bottom, just like he would do a shrimp. In a shrimp case, you don't want to reel it at all. You just want to throw it out there, let them swim over the top of it, and not move it, and they'll smell it, and they'll grab it as they're going by. Oh, this is phenomenal. This is just fantastic. I got to pull just a little bit more so I can make sure I can make a cast to the outside of the mud. Wow. Look at all these fish. And when you get the bite, you just want to reel. It's really important just to reel. Look at the bonefish spooking. Hundreds of bonefish, maybe thousands of bonefish spooking right here. Oh my gosh. The other thing you want to do, no matter what type of tackle, you want to make sure you hold that rod as high as you can as that bonefish gets going. The reason why is because you got to keep the angle of the line as high as possible. He's running through the bottom, doing this sideways, trying to rub that jig out of his face. And when he's going side to side, the higher you keep the line, the better chance you have of not hitting something on the bottom and nicking it. I need to put my motor down so I can stop us so we don't get messed up here. Just use my engine. What a time for needing a power pole. Hey, John Oliverio, if you're watching, can you send me a power pole for this particular boat? You know, I can't do everything. You just got to try to do some things, and right now catching this bonefish is really what's cool. Now the other thing you'll see me quite often do, no matter what the kind of fish that I'm catching, you'll see me reach up when the fish is not running and test the drag. At first, you want to have a light drag with these fish. The reason why is they make those long runs. Once the fish settles down and takes a nice run, he's going to come back. You'll be able to reel him about halfway back to the boat. And then after he does that, then the next run, the second run, is usually half of what the first one was. And you usually get 2 or 3 runs out of them, and then they stop. And then it's just the like you got on a big jack. Typically, the size of the bonefish that we catch when we're fishing in these muds are school fish. You know, they're not those big 12, 14-pound fish. They're anywhere from 6 pounds to 2 pounds. It's a great time of year to try to catch lots of numbers. There we go. As you can see, the grass just fell off the jig. That was where he was running through the bottom, flashing, trying to rub that jig out of his face. The other thing that's so neat about fishing school fish is often, because they're mudding, you can often be a lot more aggressive with your cast. So you can throw it a lot closer to them. Oh, there we go. Now, typically, this time of year, these school fish are 2 to 6 pounds. You can tell they're typically got all the bars, and that's what's so unique and beautiful about them. The thing that you need to understand about throwing to these schools is that they're generally, when they're mudding like this, they're in 4 or so feet of water, 2 to 3 feet of water. So you can be a lot more aggressive with your cast. You can throw it literally 4 or 5 feet in front of them and they'll see it hit. It'll spook a few fish, but not everybody knows. That's the key when you're throwing the big house muds of fish. I told you it was right there by him. I told you it was right there by him.
This Conservation Minute is brought to you by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
Let's talk about boating safety. It's really great to get out on the water, but did you know that hundreds of people are killed every year in boating accidents? Most of them drown during an accident that happens while fishing or returning from a fishing trip. But there's really an easy way to make sure that doesn't happen to you. Wear a life jacket. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission has kicked off a new boating safety awareness campaign called Wear It Florida. Now, I know what you're thinking. How am I going to be able to fish with a big, bulky life jacket on? Well, that problem's been solved. This inflatable belt pack is comfortable, lightweight, easy to wear, and easy to forget that you even have it on until you're in the water and need it. These life-saving belts will help you concentrate on catching fish and make sure you'll be able to come back and do it again tomorrow. Log on to myfwc.com website and click on Wear It Florida to learn more and spread the word to your boating friends.
At Contender, we've specialized in building high-performance, top-quality, custom-made boats for more than 25 years. Contender has redefined what a fishing boat can be, and we are committed to producing the finest fishing boats in the world. And there has never been a better time to get a great deal on our entire line of Contender boats. Be sure to check out our new generation T models, the 27, 31, and 33, all available with optional forward seating. We're looking forward to welcoming you into the Contender family of boats.
Patented in 2000, perfected over years of testing and real-world punishment, the Power Pole is the ultimate shallow water boat positioning tool. Swift, Power Pole deploys in seconds from anywhere in your boat. Virtually silent, Power Pole won't spook wary fish. Secure in strong currents or gusting winds in up to 8 feet of water. Engineered to take it with a lifetime unconditional replacement guarantee on the spike. Power Pole, swift, silent, secure. Visit powerpole.com to find a dealer near you.
I've been fishing all my life and seen some pretty cool things on the water. I've seen 180-pound tarpon jump in my boat. I've seen giant snook slam live bait, and I've also seen super shallow redfish I can easily pull to. I've seen a lot, and a lot has changed except my boat builder, Maverick Boat Company. Make no mistake about it, Maverick makes the best technical poling skiffs, high-speed backcountry skiffs, and bay boats in the world.
Use Maverick or Pathfinder, #1 for a reason.
Hey there. Like your Extreme Net Man?
I love my sumo. How about you?
Yeah. Wizard Net Man's awesome.
Well, see you out there.
Rapala, Extreme Action X-Rap. Extreme Netmen sold separately.
Has your Florida fishing or hunting license expired and you need it renewed now? No problem. The FWC has several services that will allow you to buy your license instantly. No matter where you are, in the woods or on the water, all you need is a major credit card. For a small additional service fee, you can purchase these licenses directly online or simply by calling a toll-free number. To get your instant license online, log on to myfwc.com or call toll-free 1-888-FISH-FLORIDA or 1-888-HUNT-FLORIDA.
Why is Yamaha your best investment? Just ask Captain Buddy LaPointe.
In the charter business, I can't afford downtime. My Yamaha 150 4-stroke is the most dependable, trouble-free outboard I've ever run.
This clean-burning, quiet, fuel-efficient Yamaha 4-stroke is the most versatile outboard in the Yamaha lineup. So invest in the best, the clean, quiet, dependable Yamaha F-150. Yamaha, because your best investment starts right here.
Hey, welcome back to Sportsman's Adventures. Now we want to talk about the third part to complete the Triple Crown of Bonefish 101. So some of you guys love to fly fish. Now, no matter where you go in the world, you got to have a multi-piece rod that you can travel with. Now, Biscayne builds my rods for me, and they really work well. The particular rod that is my favorite is a 9-weight. Specifically, when you have windy situations, it seems to adapt to those situations well. Maybe it's a little overkill in the Bahamas and over in Mexico, but you'll certainly appreciate it if you're in the Florida Keys. We're going to use a floating line because obviously we don't want to have our line getting tangled down into the bottom. Now that we've got our rod with a 9-weight rod, 9 foot long, we want to talk a little bit about your fly selection, understanding that matching the hatch is the most important thing. So what I mean by that is if you have a tan colored bottom, then you might want to choose a tan or an olive colored fly. The other thing that you want to consider is if it's a white bottom, then you want to use chartreuse or maybe something that's yellow. Then, after you've established the color that you want, you have to decide of the depth. If it's a tailing situation, no eyes might not be needed, as well as potentially light or small eyes. If you get deep water, the fish are mudding, then you might want to use some lead eyes. So that's the third part of this Triple Crown in Bonefish 101, and I hope that you were able to learn a few things, and we'll see how it works for you. Okay, here they are flashing right here in the mud. They've stopped and they're just flashing right here in the mud. It's right there by him. I told you it was right there by him. I told you it was right there by him. Same thing applies now. When you get this fish on the fly rod, you want to hold that rod up as high as you can hold it. Now he's coming back at me. The reel as fast as you can reel. That's why you want a reel that has a big arbor. Now he's come tight again. Hold the rod up real high. See how high I got it? Way up over. That's just to keep him from rubbing me through the bottom. Check your drag. You don't need a tight drag. You know, a lot of times people ask me why I use monofilament in today's world of braided lines. But the way that bonefish takes that big surge, anytime I've ever tried using a braided line, it actually would tear the hook right out of the bonefish. Whenever you're winding, you want to try to keep this reel down where it's comfortable. If you put this reel up underneath your breastplate, not only do you have to listen to how loud that reel is, but it's not comfortable having your hand all up in your face. It's better to keep it down low. Fish takes off and runs, just let the handle go. Go back to fighting. Now in these wading situations, you would want to use a fly that has some lead eyes, unless they're tailing very shallow. When I mean shallow, below your knee, as you can tell, this is knee height. If I get down there where I'm just ankle deep, too shallow for a boat, then I want to go to a fly that has very little eyes at all, because bonefish hear that fly splash, and then it obviously spooks them. The skinnier the water, the spookier the bonefish. The deeper the water, the more aggressive you can be. Look at him, the bone dog. There he is. Look at how those blue fins, nice chilly fins. I grab him right there. Wow. You know, the thing that's so cool about this is no matter where you are, whether you're in Mexico, you're in the Florida Keys, or you're right here in the Bahamas. And whether you fish and fly, whether you fish with jigs or spin fishermen and you like to fish artificials, or you just have never caught one before and you want to try to catch one on bait, the thing that you need to understand is this is what they look like, and this is basically how to do it. It's not any harder than that. People really are afraid or intimidated by this word bonefish. And I gotta say, there's no reason to be intimidated. The other thing that I want to say is, as he goes back, thanks for making this another great Sportsman's Adventures.
As an angler, there are few other game fish more challenging to stalk, make the perfect cast, fight, and release than the bonefish. We hope these lessons learned in Bone Fishing 101 will help make you an A the next time you're on the flats. And thanks, Mr. Bonefish, for making this another great Sportsman's Adventure. Check out the Sportsman's Adventures website at www.sportsmansadventures.com. Coming up next week on Sportsman's Adventures with Captain Rick Murphy.
Oh, there's another one in there. Oh, real. It's nice. Just stay connected. Oh, look at the other one. The other one's chasing the line. See that? Look. He's trying to get the meat that's dragging on the leader. Real cock.
Sportsman's Adventures was brought to you by Contender Boats, Costa Del Mar, See What's Out There, ARCD Hookers, Trigger X, Suffix Lines, Hook and Tackle Sportswear, Loop Reels, The Fish Grip, Get your best grip. Lumber Rock, the last deck or dock you'll ever buy. Ameritrail, custom trailer manufacturers. And by Screen Print Plus, when image matters.